Hi and welcome to this week's bonus episode of Is It ADHD or Life?
Hacks and helps.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Big news this week.
Big news, which I'm excited.
It's been a roller coaster. I got a text message and an email through at the same time.
Yeah.
From ADHD Care UK saying that I've got some forms on my online portal if I log in, and I logged in and there was no forms there.
So just this is the right to choose thing, isn't it?
Yes, sorry.
So it's like the next step.
Yeah.
Of you getting diagnosed, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've been waiting to hear from them for realistically not a long time.
No, not compared to...
In my head, 100 years.
Yeah.
But realistically not a long time. And then this was a pre-assessment questionnaire that they says was in the portal.
And was it in the portal?
No, because I believe this whole process is the diagnosis process. And
we kept joking that it was like, this was a test, wasn't it? Like
every
an
part of
ADHD
it,
test.
every part of it has been like a test of how you deal with this thing.
Yeah.
And then I got to deal with that is not, the forms aren't there.
Yeah.
And this was on a Friday. I was at Saturday, I was in work and I was trying again, putting the code in that they text me, still no forms. And it wasn't until Monday that I Googled it or asked for help and I was doing it wrong.
I can't believe you waited till Monday.
I know,
like, that's
I
like
know,
the shocker.
No, I had put it was a help thing because I put the ticket in like on the Friday and they got back to me on the Monday.
Right, okay.
And it was something to do with my phone, so I done it on the laptop and sure enough all the forms were there.
I think it couldn't happen at a perfect time though, because you would have been, we had a lot of time on Monday for you to fill that form in because the baby was in nursery and it meant that we had time to like go through it and stuff. So I think that any other time, probably.
Or the weekend would have been ruined. The weekend, if I had those forms, because it turns out there was a lot of forms.
Yeah.
There was like, there must have been 10 or 12 forms. One of them you had to fill in.
I did, yes.
One of them had to be somebody that knew you when you were a child.
Yeah.
And there was ones about anxiety and things. And then there was a couple that I filled in about symptoms. How did you get on with yours?
So it was weird because there was a couple of things that they asked and I thought, actually, no, he doesn't do that. And I actually said it out loud to you, didn't I? And we joked, oh, you've not got it. But yeah, it was very like questions just basically like, does this person, it felt very not like personal.
No.
Because it wasn't like, does Adam? It was like, does this person...
Well, it wouldn't be does
Adam.
Adam.
No, but they must have some kind of software where they can put your name in to make it personal to you.
I never even thought about that. That's a weird thing.
I know, but yeah, like, does this person, I don't know, like, get distracted or like, it was just like basic questions. And don't get me wrong, it said like, please give us more info. You didn't have to fill that bit in, but I gave him some.
I bet you did.
Oh yeah, I did.
7 A4 sheets front and back later.
Give this boy some medication.
But I think I says to you, it's all right to say no.
Yeah, because at first I was like really scared about saying no because I don't want to be the reason that you don't get.
Imagine.
And so I was, but then.
But then when you says no to 5 in a row, I'm like, but say yes to some of them.
I didn't say no. I probably I think it was 12 questions. I probably said no to 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I got as well, because there's the thing where you don't want to say no, but you want to tell the truth as well, obviously.
But then there's the flip side to that is you feel like you're lying when you say yes to everything. Do you know what I mean? Like you felt in the doctors
like the
that
doctors
first time.
are when I'm ticking boxes and I thought he's going to think I'm at it. So then I was filling mine out and it was emotional. It was
you went like in on yourself, I think, a little bit, just like quiet and just like I could tell that you were it had affected you.
It was sad.
Yeah.
It was sad because it was asking questions about childhood.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that I didn't show any symptoms as a child because I thought that I wasn't the ADHD boy jumping about the classroom.
You wasn't. That's it. Yeah, you wasn't hyperactive.
Yeah, so obviously it wasn't a thing then. We never. But the way I was asking the questions, because every question I've printed out some examples here. Every question it asked how it affected you as a child, then how it affects you as an adult.
Right. Okay.
The adult ones were dead easy because obviously we know what we're going through.
Yeah.
But the child one really got me thinking, and I'm thinking that's not an obvious it's not an obvious thing, but I done that.
All right, okay. So you looking back, you could reflect on it. It brought things up that you had done, but you didn't realise.
I had never thought about it being related to ADHD.
Right, okay.
So there was different sections of it. There was the inattention symptoms, which we know about, the struggling to stay still and difficulty organising tasks and activities, which was the forgetting homework or not doing homework. That was massive in my life. I never done homework. I done homework on the bus on the way to school.
You've done that before, actually,
and I thought everybody done that. That was just, but no.
Yeah.
Did you often lose your school books, pencils or homework? Yep. Easily distracted in class or when doing homework? Again, made me think every single report I had was Adam's doing well, but would do better if he wasn't talking. And I had never put two and two together.
Yeah.
But it was, I just thought it was like talking to people.
Just an outgoing person, everyone liked you.
Fidgeting or feeling restless, difficulty staying seated. I think I was torn because yes, I've got that difficulty, but no, I would never do something I wasn't meant to do. So I would never get out of my seat, but I would have squirmed in my seat.
But then maybe that's the fidgeting rather than the getting out.
Yeah. The things I could say no to was like feeling driven by a motor or constantly on the go. I don't think I am. That's not. But it was just I don't really need. The fact is that it was a new part in the process. It means we're getting somewhere, and it was the most emotional I've felt about the whole thing since we started this whole thing.
So this pre-assessment, is it like the similar thing that you did at the doctor's?
Yes, but it's the next level. So this is...
So it's a lot more in depth.
Yeah, very much more in depth. And this is for the person that will diagnose. This is to book your diagnosis. So hopefully within 2 weeks I should have an appointment to get diagnosed.
And will that be at your own doctor's or will it be online with
No,
these?
it'll be online with the centre.
Right,
so
okay.
they do it online.
And is that when they tell you?
Yes, it's a 90-minute interview, which you can be present for if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I just feel like, I think it's just hit me that shit just got real, I think. And
It's massive. It's a massive step. And if you're thinking about going through the right to choose, I highly recommend this so far. Although it's been stressful because of my mind.
Of course.
But definitely get in touch with ADHD Care UK.
But you must feel now there's like an end in sight.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. And
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to bring. I don't think I know what I'm looking for. I think it's just a closure thing, like to say, this, yeah, you've got it. You're riddled.
But then maybe it'll be like a weight lifting off, maybe, or
I think it will
the
be.
uncertainty of being like, maybe I've not. Like, what if I've not? Like, I just looked after, and we know obviously you. That's not going to happen. But yeah.
And I suppose it's worried me a little bit because if the first pre-assessment bit got me the way it was the other day, then it could be quite an emotional thing, which I've never thought about before.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Oh no! You've just spilled coffee and sugar everywhere. You've made a mess of that table.
So what happens now then? Sorry, do you know?
I should wait. It says within 2 weeks, but I know everything's held back just now because there's such a high demand. But all the forms have been filled in, so I just need to wait now for an appointment for the diagnosis.
Interesting. So if people are looking to go through that diagnosis, where do they start?
The Right to Choose.
Okay.
I'll put a link again in the comments about the Right to Choose website. Definitely go for it. There's nothing to lose, basically. You go, get the forms, take them to your doctor, or obviously go to your doctor first so you can do that tick sheet, and then get the forms, go to the doctor, and it's so much quicker than waiting what could be 5 years for a normal NHS appointment.
Amazing.
I think that's it, except I've been invited onto the team of my new helpers, 12 AI helpers. I'm now an ambassador, I believe.
It's because you never off it. I mean, to be fair to you, it's pretty impressive.
Top tip this week: if you have your own business, if you've got ADHD or think you've got ADHD, get this Sintra app that just. It runs everything and it's amazing, and it has kept me so busy for 2 weeks. And there's a link in the bio, which I believe there's kickbacks involved in. Yeah, do that. and get diagnosed. That's
Amazing.
it.
Don't forget to follow us on our socials or email us at adhdyourlife@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Thanks.